Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is HUSNA binti Muhammad TARMIDZI and my metric number is 1181051. Alright, inshallah today I'm going to share about my research proposal with the title Heaven Lies Beneath the Feet of Mothers, a study about the status of mothers in Islam. Alright, let's start with the introduction. First and foremost, it is critical to acknowledge the fundamental teachings of Islam on the role of mothers before delving deeper into the Quran and Hadith stance on their status. A mother has an important role in her contribution to her family, her children, as well as to society. In Islam, her contribution is highly appreciated. Islam commends kindness and respect toward parents, but specially gives preference to mothers over fathers. Thus, why do you think that mothers are given so much respect in Islam? Now we'll take a look about the research background. One of the most often quoted hadiths when the topic concerning mother is raised is a hadith that goes, Al-Jannah tahta aqdamul ummahat, which means for paradise it lies under the feet of mothers. Thus, this study will deliberate further discussion regarding the authenticity of the hadith, including other hadiths with similar phrasing and similar meanings. Not only that, it will also include certain verses of the Quran about mothers alongside its interpretation by Islamic scholars. Consequently, the researcher seeks to deliver a clear picture of the value and roles of mother in Islam according to the Quran and Sunnah. Move to problem statement. Every Muslim is commanded to show kindness toward both of their parents. However, stories about children abandoning and mistreating their aged parents on the news and social media never fail to greet us. The Prophet Muhammad has mentioned that one of the signs of the hour was that a slave girl gave birth to her master. Scholars such as Imam Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani and Sheikh Mustafa Bibu al-Bugha, when commenting on this hadith, came to the conclusion that it is a metaphor in the direction of the widespread disobedient children who mistreat their parent, just like the treatment of a master toward his slave. Therefore, in response to this situation, the researcher will identify the great position of mothers phrasing in the Quran and Hadith that will act as a reminder to all of us about the importance of showing kindness to parents, especially mothers in this case. The researcher will also outline the roles of mother emphasis in Islam and narrate several stories regarding the consequences of disobeying parents to spread awareness concerning this issue. Research objective. The aim of this study is to achieve the following objective. First, to describe the status of mothers in Islam. Second, to outline the vital roles of mothers in Islam. And lastly, to learn the sayings and stories about mothers in the light of the Quran and Hadith. Alright, now research question. In particular, this dissertation will examine three main research questions. First is what is the status of mothers in Islam? And then what are the roles of mothers and why is it important to obey them? And lastly, what does the Quran and Hadith say about mothers? For the significance of research, this study provides an important opportunity to fill a need caused by the lack of awareness with respect to the status of mothers from the Islamic perspective. It will also serve to examine other related verses of the Quran and Hadith in conveying an advanced understanding of the roles of mothers in Islam. Besides, this study will offer some valuable lesson-filled stories from the time of the Prophet that will inspire us to honor our mothers. And then, identifying all these elements will assist in effectively in calculating a worthwhile analysis relating to the value of a mother from an Islamic standpoint. We will look into the limitation of research. The scope of this research will mainly concentrate on analyzing certain verses of the Quran and several selected hadiths related to the topic of mothers, to recognize the value of a mother from an Islamic perspective, and at the same time display the importance of showing kindness toward both parents. A full discussion on the status of mother in other religions lies beyond the scope of this study. Okay, this section will investigate the Islamic terms and concepts with respect to the research title. Definition of terms Jannah. Jannah is the Islamic conception of paradise. The Arabic word Jannah is a shortened version of the word meaning garden. The description of paradise are mentioned in significant details in Quran, Hadith, and traditional tafsir. Over the past decade, a considerable amount of literature has been published pertaining to women as mothers. One of them is written by Zul Hamdani and Mahfuz Mazuki through their study Ibu dalam Al-Quran, sebuah kajian tematik. The study begins with an explanation of the term mothers used in the Quran. The authors also indicate that there are two factors that underlie the priorities of mothers. Firstly, through the great role of mothers to her children. As for the second factor, it emerged from the figure of mothers narrated in the Quran as a picture of the glory of mothers. The story of the mothers of Prophet Musa and mother of Prophet Isa, Maryam, illustrate the steadfastness of mothers with their children, as is based on the obedience to Allah. The last one is research methodology. The methodology of this research will be conducted using qualitative study by applying content analysis as the study design. This study design is particularly applicable to the objective. And then research data collection is carried out by acquiring data that are related to the topic. For an instrument, the researcher itself will progressively collect the data. For sample is focusing on certain verses of Quran and Hadith related to honoring mothers. And then, in addition, the analytical data for this research is thematic analysis, mainly applied to explain the status of mothers and outline their important roles in Islam. That's all from me. Thank you and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.